In this video, we'll practice with more linear inequalities. In this example, x minus 7 greater than or equal to negative 2, we want to solve, then graph, and then finally write the interval notation for the solution set. So to solve an inequality means to isolate the variable. We have x minus 7, so to isolate x, we need to get that 7 moved to the other side. So the opposite of subtracting 7 is adding 7. So we add 7 to both sides, and we have x isolated. The inequality is now solved. So to graph, we draw our number line. We put our number 5 on the number line, and then we're going to shade all of the numbers that are solutions. If it's x greater than or equal to 5, we're going to shade everything to the right of 5. Since this is going all the way to infinity, we need to put the arrow on the graph to indicate that. If we leave the arrow off, then it makes it seem like the graph ends at some point, but it doesn't. It goes to infinity, so we need the arrow there. Since this includes 5, 5 is a solution. 5 is greater than or equal to 5. We have the equal sign at the bottom of that inequality. We use a bracket instead of a parenthesis, and the bracket is going in the direction of the graph. The third thing we do is write the answer in interval notation. So with the interval notation, we have a left endpoint and a right endpoint. On the graph, we can see clearly the left endpoint is 5 and the right endpoint is infinity. We always put a parenthesis around infinity, and then around the 5, we can follow the graph and use a bracket. This is the interval notation. So we have 3 things to do with these inequalities typically. This next example, there's a little more work to do to isolate the variable. So we follow our steps. We distribute. After we break up those parentheses by distributing, we often will be able to combine like terms, so the 5x minus 3x. On the right, we have a negative 2 and a 4. So that'll give us positive 2. Then we'll bring the variables to one side. Variables are all on one side, so then we'll move the numbers to the other. So move that 2 over. If we have plus 2, then the opposite is minus 2, so we subtract 2 from both sides to move that plus 2 over. Negative 8 less than 10x. And then we have 10 times x, so the opposite of multiplication is division. We divide by 10, and we have isolated x. 8 and 10 are both even numbers, so we can cancel and reduce these down to a simpler fraction, negative 4/5. So we have all of the x that are greater than negative 4/5. So we have solved the inequality. To graph, we draw our number line. We put our relevant number, negative 4/5, on the number line, and then we're going to shade in the correct direction. So this is all of the x that are greater than negative 4/5. Greater than is to the right. Put in our arrow, and then since this is a strict inequality without an equal sign, we're going to use a parenthesis. Negative 4/5 is not included in the solution set because it's not greater than itself. So we have the graph now, and from there we can write this in interval notation. So following our graph, we have a left endpoint of negative 4/5. The right endpoint is infinity. Always put a parenthesis around infinity. So we have the 3 things that we need for this problem. solve graph and write the interval notation. So we'll do the same thing. We need to break up the parentheses by distributing. Then we combine like terms. Then we'll get all of the variables to one side. Once the variables are all to one side, we'll then move all the numbers to one side. So if I have 2x plus 1, the opposite of adding 1 is subtracting 1. So we subtract 1 from both sides. Then we have 2 times x. So the opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So we divide both sides by 2, giving us x less than 4. This inequality is solved. Now to graph, we draw our number line. We put the 4 on the number line, and then we shade on one side of the 4. We're going to be shading to the left because it's all of the x that are less than 4. Less than 4 is to the left of 4. Put the arrow on there because this is going to infinity. And then we come back to 4 and we see that this is a strict inequality without an equal sign. So we use the parenthesis opening in the direction of the graph.